My name is Milad. I've been a YouTuber for the past 4 years full time. I went from 0 to 6.8 million subscribers in that time frame. I've been working on YouTube videos since I was 8 years old, so about like 17 years now. I'm 25 now, and these are the top lessons that I've learned through that 15 years of learning. And number one, you cannot become the best until you operate like the best. What this means is that if you want 1 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, whatever your goal is, you want to be the biggest YouTuber in the world, you have to operate this way. So for example, let's say your goal is to be the biggest YouTuber in the world, you got to operate on the level that Mr. Beast operates, or the level that like a T-Series operates, or a WWE. And these are all channels with different strategies. I'm not saying you got to go spend $1 million, go give it away to somebody to be the best. No, but you have to operate like them. You have to have some of the most talented, world-class people on your team. You got to understand the ins and outs of the edits. You have to operate like you are that person. So another good example is if you wanted to beat Google, you would have to make a better product than Google's search engine, which I think ChatGPT did. They operated as if they were going to beat Google, and in the end now, I mean, it might become the case where more people use ChatGPT than Google itself if they don't catch up. So in order to be the best, you got to operate like the best. Number two, this is a very important one. Consistency and volume leads to quality. I cannot stress this enough. I see so many people come onto YouTube and they'll post one video or two videos and it took them like 2 weeks to make, and they think it's the greatest video that they've ever created, and then boom, 20 views the first, second, third video, and then they give up. They're like, this isn't working. I'm putting all of these hours into it and nothing's happening. This is the wrong approach. The way to do it, in my opinion, I mean, there's infinite ways to play this game, but I think that you have to become consistent and better over time. So there's a very famous example of a professor who had 2 classes. One class, he said, I'm going to give you the entire 4-month semester to make 1 clay pot. The other class, they were given the opportunity to make as many clay pots as they could. I think the professor challenged them to make 1 a day. And so what ended up happening was that the people that spent the entire semester making clay pots, they were okay. They were pretty average, like nothing special. But the ones that were making 1 a day were making some incredible pots. Like they would have like 5 or 6 pots that were just miles better than the ones that somebody would take an entire semester on. So in terms of videos, I wouldn't stress too much about your first, second, third, even your first like 100 videos. This is very popular advice. If you've seen YouTube advice videos, this is like the one that everybody gives, but it's the most true one. Just go out, make 10, 20, 30, 100 videos and just make something better every time. And you know, you have to enjoy the journey too. So make sure you're enjoying whatever you're creating. And you know, that's something that I think is going to take you from a place where you have zero knowledge of what you're doing, 0 videos, and you're kind of just banging your head against the wall. But if you start just throwing them out, you're going to get a lot more reps, a lot more exposure to how it's actually done. Me personally, when I was starting out, I was trying to make 3, 4, sometimes even 5 short form videos every single day just to learn the ins and outs. And you know, that taught me what content is, that taught me how to make it, and it brought me to where I needed to be. And so number 3, if you can dream it, you can do it. Seriously. So there's a famous kind of like, I guess it's like an infographic, or that's the wrong word. I think it's a packet that Mr. Beast, the #1 YouTuber in the world, gives to his team when they come on to the Mr. Beast team. And one of the big things that they talk about in it is that anything that they want to do it by any means necessary. So that's a big thing, I think, especially with YouTube. You're gonna have a lot of people that are telling you can't do things this way, you can't do things this way. They're gonna try to stop you from doing things that you want to do. So for me, one of the big ones, honestly, was that in the beginning, I was told you're gonna get in trouble by filming at the Subway, because my content was a lot of me working at Subway. And so in my mind, I was like, well, why am I going to put this barrier on my mind if I'm not, sorry, I declined a call. If I'm not even going to get in trouble for it right now, why am I going to psych myself out of it? And so I did it. And guess what? Subway ended up literally partnering with me on my channel multiple times. And if I got in my own head and I was like, I can't do this, like, I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to, like, tough break, right? Never would have made a YouTube channel. Now this has limitations. Don't do things that are illegal. Don't do things that are morally incorrect. This is obvious. I think that should go without saying, but I think some people are just going to take this with face value and they're going to be like, yo, like I'm going to go like jump off the Eiffel Tower and skydive for a video. That would probably be a banger. I'm not going to lie to you, but you're going to get arrested. So don't do that. All right. Next up, number 4, it doesn't have to be so complicated. I see people always signing up for YouTube, making videos, and their first videos, they're looking at like the big dogs. They're looking at like Mark Rober, who's an engineer who like does this stuff for a living every single day. They look at like Mr. Beast, who's spending $10 million a video. You don't have to do it this way. There are so many different, literally there's infinite things. Not so many, there's legitimately infinite things you can make content on. So like basket weaving. Let's say you love basket weaving. That's a channel. You don't even have to do like edits. Like you could just like do like an hour of you basket weaving, and like some of those videos get 1 million views a video. And one of the funniest, not funniest, but like one of the best ones that I've seen is this guy. You guys probably know him. His name's the Outdoor Boys, and all he does is just go outside, live his life, be an awesome guy, like survive in the wilderness. And these videos get like 20 million views a pop. So don't overcomplicate it. Just find a way to get better and better and just put yourself out there. That I think is huge. A lot of people psych themselves out in their own head. Don't be that person. Just try it. Just like do what you feel would be fun and good content. Next one. The biggest YouTubers in the world are extremely stressed out, so don't worry too much. Now, this is one that I think kind of blew my mind when I was figuring it out. Like, you always think to yourself, you'll see somebody with like 30 million subscribers or even 1 million subscribers, and you think to yourself like, wow, how are they able to do it so easily, as if like it's almost effortless? These people are stressed out. They're stressed out of their minds. I can tell you something right now. I mean, like, to name some off the bat, like Mr. Beast, I keep referring to him just because he's like the easiest one that everybody knows, but like the dude's stressing out every single video. Mark Rober, stressing out every single video. Every single YouTuber I've met has gone through a point where they're extremely stressed about their viewership, their income, whether they made a great video. You're not alone if you're stressing out. I think that's a big one. You're not alone. Just do it. Just keep going, you know, because if they're stressed, you could be stressed, you know, like it's okay. Stress is okay as long as you're working towards your goals. At least that's my opinion. If you don't want stress, if you don't want to like be anxious or think about, you don't even have to play it that way. You can just upload a video, forget, move on, go to the next one. So next, post everywhere you can, because this is going to give yourself as many opportunities for exposure as possible. So one of the things that I actually like coached a couple of people from 0 to 1 million subscribers, which is crazy to think about now. Like I've never talked about that publicly, but one of the big things that I would tell them is post your content to as many platforms as you can. So post it to, if it's a short form video, even if it's a long form, you could cut it up, but post to Instagram, post it to Facebook, post it to TikTok, post it to Snapchat, post it to Pinterest. I don't care. You're giving yourself more opportunities to go viral when you post to other platforms. So let's take one short form video, for example. If I only post it to YouTube Shorts, that's one opportunity to go viral. I have one shot at that video to go viral. Now, let's say I post it to Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, and I'm just going to throw Pinterest out there. Oh, X. We'll say Twitter or X. I don't know how I forgot that one. But now you have 6 opportunities to go viral. 6 on the same video. So now when you multiply that across 100 videos, right? Instead of having 100 opportunities to go viral, you now have 600 opportunities to go viral or to gain an audience or find your people. So post it everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's the same video, just post it across platforms, but don't repost your video to the same platform. So like if I made a video yesterday, I'm not going to post it again today on the same platform. That'd be crazy. That would be ridiculous. Anyways, next, if you get to the point where you can hire slowly and really trust your people. So one of the big mistakes that I've seen a lot of creators make, I made this mistake, is that they'll gain some traction and then they'll think, I got to start outsourcing to everybody that I can. I got to get a thumbnail designer. I got to get a video editor. I got to get an idea guy. I got to get a personal secretary. Don't do this. Please don't do this. This is like the highway to burnout. you're not here to manage people, right? I mean, if you were, you could go make a media company. That's okay. That's another way to do it. But if you hire slowly and you get one person in the beginning that you really trust, you really train him up and give him the right tools to succeed at his job, and he becomes better than you. I always think a video editor is a good first hire, but he becomes better than you. And then all of a sudden, you've taken a piece of the workload off of your back. Whereas if you have 6 employees and you have to report to all of them and all of them are training at the same time, it's hard. It's hard work, man. Build it up slowly. Hire one by one. I mean, I think when, again, to go back to Mr. Beast, I keep saying this, but I'll use another example. Ryan Trahan, huge YouTuber. He had this exact problem. He hired, I want to say like 9 or 10 people, and his channel suffered from it. He started to resent making videos, and he talks very openly about this. So when he stripped back his team and just brought on 2 people, their names are Zach and Preston, they went to the moon. Like, Ryan gets like 20 million views a video now, and he doesn't have to manage people. These guys are so good at what they do that Ryan trusts them with all of his heart, and he's just gonna like be like, yo, you guys handle this. So hire slowly and trust the people that you hire. Otherwise, if you don't trust the person that you hire and you're like watching over him, maybe you shouldn't have hired that guy, you know? Like, maybe that's not the right move. Next, never stop trying new things. Man, I think this is one of the most important ones too. I keep saying, I feel like I say all of these are the most important, but I do think all of these are important. If you just do the same thing, I've seen this so many times, you just do the same thing over and over and over again, people get bored. People are like, I've seen this 20 times now, you know? Never be afraid to start experimenting and trying new things. Let's say you experiment, the video flops, the viewership is lower than any other video you've ever posted. You learned something. Now you're like, oh, okay, that's something that maybe I shouldn't experiment more. But on the flip side, let's say you experiment and one of the videos are the highest performers that you've ever put out. Man, you just opened up a whole new lane to make content. So don't be afraid to experiment. I've literally heard the engineers at YouTube and all of these platforms talk about this. One bad flop, one bad video is not going to destroy your channel. As a matter of fact, they don't even matter anymore because everything is on algorithm. So if it's a good piece of content, it's gonna get served no matter what. If it's a bad piece of content, it's not gonna get served, and you can figure out why was that a bad piece of content. That kind of comes on to our next thing, which I talked a little bit about, but you need to always be improving something. So if every single video you're making it 1% better, there's a stat. It's the rule of 1%. You can go look it up. If you're getting 1% worse over the course of a year, pretend like this is a graph, right? You're getting 1% worse. You're going to decline to the point where you're 98% worse over a year. That's compounding. So if you get 1% better, it's about 38 times better after a year if you get 1% better every single time. So let's say it's a video, right? Video 1, you're trying to be good. Video 2, you get 1% better. Video 3, you get 1% better. By video 365, you're going to be 38 times better at the craft. So try to get 1% better every single upload that you can. And to finalize this, stuttering, nobody cares, just post. Nobody will judge you. The only people that will judge you are probably the people that have never started a channel or done anything hard themselves. Your mom won't care, your dad won't care, your brothers won't care. Nobody will care except for you until you make them care. That's the key. Subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I'm going to read all the comments. Goodbye.